Hi, welcome to my third Kickstarter. Some of you... Oh, you don't want to listen to all that rubbish, do you? I'll let that run too long. Yeah, look, it's me waffling on. That's what happens when you get distracted, isn't it? I assume you can all hear me all right. Happy is talking about his ARS as usual. So I hope you're well. Yes. two monitors. See, black, can't see it. That's why I don't show them off that often, because it's black. Right, God, whack me elbow there. That was a good idea, wasn't it? Let me put this here, so when I look at myself, you know, like narcissists do, I'm looking at you a bit more. Well, hello everyone. How are you? As you can see, I've got 2 monitors working, although that one seems to have died. I don't know what's going on with that. Let's turn that back on again. There we go. Yes, I'll tell you what, I'll put something back on it, and I will also turn off, come on, let's put something on this, and then what we'll do is, and I've been told that when I look away, that's it. Right, that won't go off now. Yeah, ignore the colours, the brightness. It's not, because it's terrible when you're trying to film it with the lights and the camera and everything. It just looks rubbish. Right, so where are we? Well, you know, we're getting on well. I'm just booking my trip to China. I thought I'd actually booked it, and then it came back and said flight wasn't available, but thanks for the money. So I'm trying to sort that out again. I've booked my hotel, but it's all going really well. If you didn't know, we had a few issues with the tooling, the samples that came in. There was 2 or 3 little issues that had to be sorted out. They're being worked on at the moment, and then the texture's being done, because they're only minor little things. So they're going to sort that out. They'll be ready in a couple of weeks. So when I go out in China a bit later on, not a week late or something like that, we'll be able to check them, double check them, and sign them off. So that's all good news. The electronics are coming on really well. There's still some tweaks to be done to the scaler, and there's this secret thing that's on its way. When it turns up, if it works, I'll tell you about it. Until then, no, I'm not going to tell you nothing, because there's no point. There's no point me telling you about it. It's something that we've experimented with. If it works, it'll be brilliant. So yes, things are going on really well, and as I said on the thing, this is a Q&A. This is going to be a half-hour one. I'm hoping this is going to be a half-hour one, because it's not an awful lot to say compared to last time. You can see I've built both. They're both the ones from the tooling. So working, and someone asked a question, why does that bezel look bigger on the black one? That's because it's a 17-inch. Mainly because I didn't have a spare panel. I had a 17 and a 19, and I've got 2 19s. I've got a load more 19s coming. Yeah, so that's a 17. That's a 19. I was asked the question, what would it look like on a CDTV? There you go. That's what it looks like if it's on a CDTV. This is for Mega fans. Again, this is. I know people were a bit disappointed that I didn't take the black monitors to Germany. The reason was this is not the finished texture. Now, I didn't want people seeing this and having to spend the whole day saying, no, that's not what it's going to look like. It's going to be slightly different. So I thought it's just better not to take it. So because this has just been sprayed matte black, and it's got a bit more of a shine to it, which I think I've already shown you once before. Again, this is absolutely pointless. But this is basic. You can see that shine on it. It's quite subtle. In fact, actually, it's like the 1084, the black 1084. It looked very similar. It's kind of the same kind of effect. So actually, that should be pretty good. That's. Can I pause that? I wonder if I could pause that in a position. No, but it's not going to let me, is it? Let's go back to here because that's going to be annoying. Right. So yes, everything's going well. We've got some. Hopefully, by the time we go to China, we'll have pretty much the final release candidates of the main board, the backplane, and the slot 0. There's been a few changes. Obviously, the first one's worked. It was a bit dim, so we had a second one that came along. It got the brightness. Brightness is the wrong word. It's how much the backlight is driven. Compared to the original board, so they've done that and now it's fantastic. So the display panel's being driven properly, which is great. A few little bits and pieces to sort out. That's really it. So I'm going to go through it. As I said, this is a Q&A, so if there's not many questions, I won't be here long. But someone did ask a really good one. One person asked, and it's already been answered, about that. That's a 17-inch. The fat bezels. On the subject of 17-inch, quite frustrating. 20% during the Kickstarter wanted the 17-inch. When it comes to putting your money down, no one wants it. 3%. So, yeah, that's good. How long that 17-inch version will last, I don't know. But we will see. I may drop it all together. It costs thousands to make the thing, but it's a stock issue, you see. So if we got them stocked around them all, instead of having just two, a black and a white one that's 19, we'll have 17, two colours, 4. So that's a bit of a nightmare. So you may find that getting it on the Kickstarter, you get the only 17s. I don't know, or it might be just we do an upgrade. We do custom versions for people. I haven't decided on it yet, but it's obvious there's not the interest in the 17. Everyone likes the look of it, but they've all got eyes like me. Obviously, you old guys have got eyes like me, so you want the bigger panel. So that answers that. Someone asked another question, Anders. I'm curious about different panels below the screen. That little... I'm assuming what you mean is the OLED. There's a little jog dial down there. And there's a little OLED on that. In fact, I'll show you. I turned it off by mistake. Hang on. Well, it's on now, look. GBSC. I don't know if you can actually see it. I've been told off actually by someone because when I walk away, you can't hear me. Quite right. All right, let's get that going again. There we go. Yeah, so that's an OLED display. It's for the Appy's Retro Scaler. So it uses the I2C bus with the display. There's a little jog dial. It's got the menus, so you can easily not easy because there's a huge amount of customization you can do on the scaler. It's got that jog dial, so you can get some basic settings just from the front, which is pretty good. And seeing as like 90% of people are buying it, pretty much most of these monitors you're going to see are going to have that little jog dial. It does look very neat. I'm very pleased with that. That's what that is. Assuming that's what you meant. Please spill some secrets before boss arrives. Nah, I'll be all the time, and he knows not to say anything. Yeah, let me explain that. I mean, obviously he knows lots of stuff, obviously, because he's designing the most of it. Not everything though. But I work on the basis that, because I'm very open on these things, okay? But what I won't tell you is things that we're not 100% sure we're going to do. So once we know for sure, then I'll tell you about it. I'll tell you. So in other words, I'll tell you about stuff, and then you know it's going to happen. Then there is something on its way over. So I've got fingers crossed. If it doesn't work out, I'll tell you. Okay. But I need to know the facts. Okay. Now, so I don't want to, spend the rest of my life explaining why we said about it, and so that's basic. I know he likes to. He's very good at it, I must admit. Apparently, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure we can sort out some pictures of Happy's ARS. Intro needs an update. Yeah, probably. But I haven't got time for all that. There's going to be a new video. Once we ship in, I'm going to do a proper another introduction video. But it will go into all the details and what have you. But until that point, it's not worth it. So I'm not doing one till then. The red looks nice, yes. Except if you look at the black monitor, it's brilliant. It's red on the white monitor. It's red there as well, but it's interacting with these lights up here, and of course it makes it look yellow. I don't know. It just looks stupid, but they are red and they do look much nicer. I think the red looks really nice, especially because it matches the Checkmate logo at the beginning. I am sick of Bugs Bunny. Yep, so am I. I will try and sort something else out to put on here. But the problem we got is there's no copyright issues with this. So if the music can be picked up by YouTube, it's open source, so it's all good. And plus the fact I cropped it and rendered the video to be exactly the right size. So that's another reason. Don't go on about Roger Rabbit and Jessica. My ex-wife used to. Anyway, moving on. I got my black monitor for CDTV. I do have a black 1084S, but it will be retired. Well, I don't know about being retired. I mean, they are very cool. I don't think they're going to look as good as this. Well, the actual monitor looks great. It looks brilliant. But I think the display, the flexibility of the display is going to be completely different. That looks great in CDTV. Yes, it does. Did you want to have another look? Hang on. Come over here. There you go. Might as well leave it on there. I thought maybe that going back because this was meant to be just a quick video. I'm in the 3% club. Yeah, there's very few people want the 17. But the tooling's been made, so the $16,000 it costs to make for about so far 25 people. And people wondered, well, shouldn't the 17 be cheaper? No, it's twice the price. Hello, Paul. Yeah, nice to see you. Stylish updates on Patreon lately. I love the Checkmate logo on Startup. Yes, I do too. I'm probably going to change that to Checkmate Displays because that's the trademark. But we'll see. The Chinese are keeping us really busy working. Yes, yeah, yeah. Yeah, good old Happy's been on Chinatown. Aren't all days drink days? Yeah. Can you do a video showing of Mr. integration, maybe some games running? Nah, I think I've done a video on that. That one there has got the Mr. Yeah. Look, it's in the top. That's a Mister. This is an old V2 prototype, but there's the Mister in the top. I think I have done videos on that, so it's probably not worth doing it again. Maybe later. How much does it weigh? About 8 kilos. Yeah, it's about 8 kilos, so it's not too bad. Some of those how-to videos might be nice after. I wish I could get rid of this stupid heart thing. How how to video. Yes, I also I'm not guaranteeing this, but I'm also I've got potentially a little USB goes in the back. I might include it, but I don't know yet. I'm not too sure. It's more that not so much the cost, it's because not much. It's just the setting the damn things up. But obviously I'm going to do, you'll be able to go to YouTube and download videos and that kind of thing. But I did think it'd be quite nice to have a USB stick that comes with it, a little tiny little button one, with an intro video and how to get you up and running. So I'm considering doing that. I mean, again, the cost isn't too bad. It is literally the duplication of the things with the videos on it. So, and of course it might delay things. So that's thought going from. That's one of those. Probably shouldn't say anything into, but it's just a thought. Let's go. Question: what's the tilt of the screen when the stand is taken off? 5 degrees. So it's literally 5 degrees. So I designed it so as standard, it's tipping back 5 degrees. And of course, then you've only got the motion you've got is the amount of the ball can roll in the width. So it's not bad. But it's really just to tip it up a bit and tip it down a bit. Do you know what I mean? It's like, or you might want it flat, and then you might want to tip it up if you're standing. So there's not a huge amount of rotation. I think it's about 10, 15 degrees, something like that. I suppose I should measure it, but it's not. As I said, it relies on the ball, doing that, and it's only got so far it can move. Will there be a monitor filter as for CRTs? I don't remember seeing filters, but maybe that's just me. But the answer is probably no. You can make one if you want. I've done that. How much does it weigh? 8 kilos. Some of those how-to videos might be nice after production units actually come in. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it is whether I mean, they'll be on YouTube. But I just like the idea of that when you get it, you just go to USB, play the intro, and you've got the videos. So I'd like to do that. I'm not promising it because it's just the cost of it. I'm not worried about the cost. It's literally it's the duplication of the things. That's the only concern. Black would look great with my CM Mini. Yeah, it does look quite nice on the Mini. It does look. I mean, it looks good, but it's the same width as the Mini. Whereas on the Plus, as you can see, actually, well, you can't because I've put it away. It looks really good because the Plus is wider. It just looks better. Have you caught up with payment-wise since the credit card? Yeah, I mean, pretty much we caught up. We had 603. We're about 570 now, but it's still about over 800 people still haven't done it. So, but I'm not, as I said, I'm not worried because all it means is the people who have paid. I'm going to probably do this in 2 big shipments of 1,000. So the first lot will come in, and then 6 to 8 weeks later they'll do the other lot and ship that lot. So because it helps with space, I can only build so many at a time, although partial building's being done. So the people who pay get theirs first, regardless of the position in the queue. Because obviously if you paid by credit card before, I haven't deleted your place in the queue, but of course for it to ship you have to pay for it. So far we're up to 600 cases, I think, been paid for. So 1,000 in, there's plenty. And if a lot more money comes in before then and now, they'll probably order more. But I just thought it'd be easier to get drop ship 1,000 or a reasonable number, and do it that way, and then get the rest of them shipped a few weeks later on. Help smooth things out. But everything's fine with the money, as I said. There's enough money to order 1,000. There's enough money to pay for all the chassis, but there's enough money to make 1,000 units with everything and deliver. It's all there, so it's all good, and it still leaves a lot of money to pay for at least another 500. So we're all good on the cash. There's nothing to worry about there. So thanks to everyone who did send the money in, because this actually made a big difference. My wife has now taken a breath. She was a bit worried about it, obviously. I mean, I'm an old hand at this, and I knew that the community would jump in, And I know people, you know, if you commit to it, you want to buy it. It's just a pain in the butt having to do it by bank transfer, which I get. I totally do. As I've said, I went out and bought a pair of motorbike boots, and I put them on my personal credit card so I can pay it in a couple of months. Because you know, I'm not been like diving into the money. It's all locked away. Well, not locked, but you know. No internal fans and electrically very quiet. Yes. I suddenly thought black was a mistake the other days. It's going to be sat by 1200, but seeing the CCTV videos changed my mind. I won't pester you to change my order. It does look great, doesn't it? I mean, and it's going to look better than that, as I said, because, as I said, you can't. I don't think you can really tell from this, but can you see it's got? If you can see that shiny text, the text at the front is going to be shiny, really smooth and polished, whereas this is textured and the text pops. Yeah. So that's going to be really good. But this does in the light. You can see how it reacts with the light. Whereas that's matte. And of course, it doesn't really react. So this is going to look a lot better in the finish. So I'm really looking forward to that. Will our units be assembled? Or oh no, they're all assembled. Assembled and tested. I always assemble everything and test it. So it's all going to be good. Forgot to link to you. Okay, question. How long after these ship will you start selling cases again? Well, you can. I think you can. Well, you can buy them now. If you go to Germany, I mean, I've still got some in stock. I've got about 3 or 4. I've got to send out because I've got some new replacement panels that I'd run out of. The rear panels. I'm probably going to send them all off to Michael in Germany. So if you want them, they're still available. I mean, there's not many. There's not many left, but I will make some more. Probably about the middle of the year, and then have another little bit of promotion. But the monitor's the most important thing at the moment. I want to get them sorted out. I'm still thinking of going for the Aruda screen. If I paid for that option and then they never materialise, would I still be able to order an LCD? Yes. Yes. So here's the thing. Obviously, you know, it's going to be a little bit more expensive. Not much. Just going to be a bit more expensive because obviously, if you buy the whole thing together, it's cheaper. But it won't be much. 20, 30 quid, and then you've got to pay shipping, obviously. But don't ever worry about that. If the Aruda doesn't materialise, which I believe it will, I don't know when, but I believe it will. Don't worry about that because you can always. But this is the reason I've been saying to people, I suggest you buy the panel with the controller now and then upgrade later because at least you've got one. That's the only reason I say that. But I will always back people. Do not worry about that. You'll be fine. How about some cool retro effects on screen like scan lines? Yes. Well, on the GBS control. This isn't a GBS board now. It's important to understand that. It's a different board entirely. But the firmware on it is called GBS control. And that has scan. You can set scan lines on that within on the web server. A bit more complicated to go into set up, but you can set scan lines if you really want that, and save them with a profile. As for more effects, I mean, look, let's be honest. We base this on the GBS control firmware, you know, the new one. And if that gets updated, you'll be able to update that. They actually really, you could just buy another one and just reprogram it and plop it in, and then, you know, because the actual GBS controller, the what was called the node board, it's only about £4 or £5 or something. It's actually quite cheap. And you can always get. Oh, there goes the camera. Back in a sec. And you can always just reprogram that and just do it. But it's not easy, but it's not overly complicated if you know how to load software, load a file, press go, and it'll write to it. But other than that, you shouldn't need to do anything. It's only in case there's some fancy effects that you want, so that bit can be updated. Come on, any more questions? Because it's nearly half hour. And let's go back to this because that must be doing your head in. There you Any more questions before I go? So I can't see many questions appearing. No? Any questions? Any more questions? Am I right that Aruda will require 19-inch? Yeah, there won't be a 17-inch. We don't know what the size of it is yet. The maximum size they can put in there is 19. I'm hoping it'll be exactly 19, and I'm hoping it will fit the bezel for the 19. That's obviously, because that's one of the things you see, is that once they've just done the board and they've sorted out the panel, we have to make sure that the bezel fits, and if it doesn't, we've got to do new bezel, which is really expensive. So that's a bit of a concern at the moment. So we'll wait and see what happens. As I said, if the worst comes to the worst, and you buy it and it doesn't appear, you will always be able to buy the panel from me, and it won't. I won't rip people off, and be no problem with that. It's just that I don't know what they're going to cost when I actually sell them separately. So there might be a little bit of an extra charge on it, but it won't be much. But you will have to buy. You will have to buy the panel and the controller and the back plane, because unless you've already bought it, which I don't know why you would, because you don't buy them separately. Well, the back plane you do, but you don't buy the controllers separately. Lots more questions. That's good. Just tuned in. I guess you're wrapping up. No, if you've got a question, ask it. Be quick, Merlin. How about a pay rise? Yeah, absolutely happy. Yeah, I mean, what is it we're paying you now? Like $8 a year? More than happy to double that. No problem at all. No earth-shattering news today, but it's all good stuff. Everything sounds like so. Yeah, everything's fine. It's, as I said, we're late. That's life. But what you're going to get is so much better than what I originally promised. If you look at the Kickstarter, when you get it and you go back to the Kickstarter, night and day. Trust me on this. Night and day. Do you have any Christmas plans, like conjuring plans for the next Kickstarter? No, give us a break. This thing's going to roll into next year or two. I mean, everyone knows. Well, no, not everyone knows. I'm thinking of discussing what I'd like to do next to my patrons, but purely to my patrons, because they're basically helping me out with all this. So if you're a patron, it's not so that you go on it. If you want to be, it's $1 a month or something silly like that. If you do want to go on Patreon, I probably will start talking about that soon, but only talk. It literally, not like, here's the design. It'll be just talking, But I mentioned it at the German show. Apart from Christmas, relaxing. Probably not, actually. Thanks, DC to be on track. Yeah, of course, yeah. Do you have speakers working or demonstratable yet? They've been demonstratable for a year. And the speakers are working there. That's what you can hear in the background. They've been working forever. Recent we had a bit of a glitch. They weren't working, but that's fine. But this one hasn't got any speakers in it because I ran out of cables. I ran out of these speaker cables. Waiting for Happy to send me a couple, and then I'll put speakers in that one. But the speakers were all good. They sound fantastic. So we've had them for a long time. In fact, since day one, I had speakers. Do you need? So answer that. Checkmate 4KT. Possibly. It'll be really expensive. Any news on the bag? Is it final? Yeah, the bag is finalised. I mean, I think I'm gonna make it a bit taller, just a tiny bit, because when you put it in there, it's kind of pushing up on the lid. So I'm gonna probably increase it by a centimetre in height. But apart from that, I'm happy with it. So it's good enough. Mr. Merlin, demonstratable. I've been demonstrating it for God knows how long. There you go, you can hear that. I'll turn it back down now. And no, it's not going for separate speakers, it's going for the speakers built into it. And if you've been in Germany, you'd have seen this. If you go back and watch all my videos, the speakers have always been working. And bag, I've done that. All the bags. In fact, actually, Mr. Merlin, there's a video on. Just go back to the Kickstarter. There's a video talking all about it. There's a video showing you them working. All the bags black. Yes, all the bags are black. Yeah, I'm not doing different colour bags, just black. They've got red stitching. Red stitching? Yeah, it's got a red around the top, and I think it was red stitching. Actually, there's not really much stitching there, to be fair. It's all internal. Right, any more questions? Never underestimate the price people will pay for a prestige, finely crafted. Right now, putting thousands into Mac Pro inspired PC cases from a niche manufacturer. Yeah. All right, well, I'm going to go. As I said, there's not an awful lot more to talk about. Not that I can, but there's, if this thing arrives in the next few days and it works as I hope, you'll get an update video on that because it's very interesting news. Of course, make some changes, but anyway, you'll find out all about that. And that's it, really. I'm not going to bother with the silly thing at the end. I'm just going to cut this and. But Mr. Merlin, yes, speakers. Go and on the Kickstarter. I've come down. There's the sound one. Go and have a look. That's it. Thank you very much. I will do another one of these. I might do one next week if we've got this thing. And wait and see. Of course, I'll be in China in 2 or 3 weeks. We'll see what happens with that. All right, thanks so much, guys. I will speak to you. Don't forget Happy. Yeah, don't forget Happy. I will speak to you later. Thanks for chipping in. See you later. Bye.